Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Chairman ICAP, President ICAP, sorry, Chairman of the Public Sector Committee, and Dr. And Mr. Khalid Ahmed from SIFA. I'm grateful to him for the fact that we had a transaction-based or a project-based relationship with SIFA. Now, due to his initiative and effort, now we have a long-term relationship with SIFA now. It's a matter of great honor for me to present the inaugural keynote address on fiscal accountability and SOE reform, the auditor's lens, on behalf of the Auditor General of Pakistan. At the outset, I extend my warm gratitude to ICAP and to SIFA for getting us together on this platform that gathered some of the finest minds in governance, finance, and reform to deliberate on a subject of national urgency. It could not have come at a more timely and critical juncture. As we begin this conversation, I invite you to reflect with me on two foundational pillars of that ecosystem: fiscal accountability and the reform of state-owned enterprises viewed through the discerning lens of Pakistan's state audit institution, the Auditor General of Pakistan. Fiscal accountability and SOE reform are not just abstract concepts, they are urgent imperatives, and they demand from all of us, whether auditors, accountants, policymakers, or reformers, not just technical rigor, but moral clarity and institutional change. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to reflect on this inflection point in Pakistan's economic and institutional journey, a moment that calls for both introspection and bold reform. The choices we make today as policymakers, professionals, and stewards of public trust will shape the fiscal integrity, economic independence, and institutional strength of our nation for decades to come. Pakistan faces mounting fiscal pressures, rising debt, constrained development budgets, and an urgent need to deliver more with less. Climate shocks, social disparities, and public disillusionment only deepen the complexity of this change. It is time to reimagine the architecture of public finance, not only to withstand present pressures, but to secure a more resilient and accountable future for Pakistan. This takes me to the second step: accountability as the cornerstone of public confidence. In the architecture of any thriving democracy, fiscal accountability is the foundation stone upon which public trust is built. The Auditor General of Pakistan, as the constitutional custodian of the national purse, stands at the heart of this trust. Through independent audits, we serve both Parliament and the people, offering not just numbers on a page, but insight into how public funds are used, safeguarded, and directed for the common good. But the age of narrow audits and retrospective scrutiny is fading. Modern public audit must evolve beyond the mechanical checking of boxes. It must become a strategic compass, anticipating risks, measuring performance, and guiding reform. No longer a rear-view mirror reflecting on what was, it must be a spotlight illuminating the path ahead. In this spirit of renewal, we are embedding performance audits in the lifeblood sectors of our nation: health, education, infrastructure, and the environment. Embracing international standards and deepening partnership with our peers under INTOSAI and SSI to elevate the integrity and reach of our work. And most critically, extending our gaze to the vast and often somewhat opaque world of Pakistan's SOEs, where accountability must not be demanded, but demonstrably delivered. Ladies and gentlemen, the SOEs provide us a promise, a paradox, as well as a path to reform. They occupy a distinct and vital space in the government architecture of Pakistan. Conceived once as engines of national development, safeguards of economic stability, and providers of essential services, they carry immense promise. Yet too often, they embody inefficiency, opacity, and unsustainable fiscal burdens. In its fiscal risk assessment statement this year, the Ministry of Finance reported alarming figures highlighting the expanding fiscal exposure posed by SOEs, bringing renewed energy and urgency to this reform. Anticipating these risks, the government has taken a proactive step by enacting the State-Owned Enterprises Act 2023, a landmark legislation aimed at strengthening governance, operational efficiency, and financial discipline. Crucially, the Act reinforces the role of the Auditor General of Pakistan. Our office will now conduct audits, financial, compliance, and performance-based audits in full alignment with the Act's governance and reporting standards. This creates a clearer bridge between audit findings and corrective action. But let's not forget that even the best designed reforms demand follow-through. Today, a significant portion of audit findings remain pending for action. Many are delayed within the review pipelines. A diligent and assertive Public Accounts Committee aiming to command authority before an executive often disinterested in implementing the audit recommendations. Now let's look at the issues from auditor's lens and with an objective to enable transformation. At the Auditor General Office, we are reimagining our role, not as passive observers of past missteps, but as active partners in shaping a more accountable and resilient state. In pursuit of this vision, we have and are championing a series of bold shifts in our audit philosophy and practice. The first pillar of this shift is strategic audit of SOEs. We are moving beyond traditional compliance-based approaches. Instead, we have launched thematic and performance-based audits of SOEs, evaluating outputs and outcomes, scrutinizing efficiency and economy, interrogating governance structures, and mapping fiscal consequences. These audits are designed not only to measure what is, but to question what should be. The second pillar is greater focus on risk-based audit planning. We are sharpening our focus where it matters the most, on sectors where the exposure to public funds is greatest, and the risk of failure carries the highest cost. Energy, transport, and public infrastructure have become central to our audit agenda. The third pillar is auditing for governance reform. Our reports now go beyond financial numbers to highlight structural flaws. Weak board governance, and even sometimes absence of boards, absence of key performance indicators, opacity in decision-making. We are bringing to surface issues that demand reform not only in management practice, but in the legal and policy frameworks that enable or constrain fiscal accountability. The fourth pillar is strengthening collaboration with oversight institutions. Audit achieves its full value only when its findings lead to action. We are therefore further deepening our coordination with public accounts committees, regulatory bodies, and line ministries, ensuring that our reports not only inform, but also have implementable recommendations leading to meaningful reform. And the final pillar is digitalization and real-time audit access, which has been mentioned before. In a rapidly digitizing world, audit must keep pace with the evolving world. We are therefore investing in technology and tools that enable public sector auditors to access real-time financial data. This shift is empowering us to detect risks earlier, respond faster, and enhance our capacity to prevent fraud before it happens, rather than after the damage is done. These are not isolated one-off or standalone initiatives. Rather, they are part of a coherent vision and holistic and well-thought-out strategy leading us to a future where the auditor does not merely report on failure, but becomes a trusted sentinel for reform. And for every audit lies a story not only of accountability, but of possibility. And it is our responsibility to ensure that the story we write leads not just to questions, but to answers leading to a transformative action. Finally, the platform provides us an opportunity to call for a shared responsibility. We in SAI Pakistan remain steadfast in our constitutional role and responsibility, but the true promise of accountability lies beyond audit. It lies in action, in reform, and in a shared commitment to serve the people of Pakistan with honesty, efficiency, and foresight. Let's work together for that. Thank you very much.